happened to my people up there in villages? Have no education, no property, absolute poverty. So he said, I'm going to work for my people. I'm going to do everything possibly he can do to see I can get my people up. So he went back to Bombay. He was able to get a job as a lawyer. Bombay being a big city with a lot of British influence, he was able to go to college, and he was teaching in college. Then he started writing about the untouchable peoples, and he started doing a lot of research as to find out what the caste system is. Why, where, how's the Hindu religion? And he was writing to the British. And British people, thank goodness, at least listened to him. Listened to him. So when the time came, in 1930s, they were talking about the British leaving India. There's a lot of commotion going on. And I want to bring my favorite person into the discussion is Gandhi here. I'm referring to Mr. Gandhi, the old man that you would have seen a picture. The movie, the famous movie they took, okay? That is a propaganda picture, okay? This guy was also Bharatla. I think he was a third-rate Bharatla. He couldn't even find a job in India, so they shipped him to South Africa. That's the truth. So he went to South Africa to work for one of his... see, when the Indians went to other countries, whether they're Caribbeans or South Africa or Fijis and other places, the first shipload was all the untouchables. Because they needed the laborers or the coolies they used to call at that time. Coolie. As anybody from Trinidad or Jamaica would understand the word. Yeah, coolie. And that was the untouchables. But then to manage them, they took the upper caste. So they had pretty much the entire cross-section of people moved to different countries. But the majority of the people, because they need more laborers than masters. So majority of Indians were shipped to those countries where the untouchables. Okay. So when the Gandhi went there, and he saw the British man treating Indians or his upper caste man as bad as blacks. He got worried. I said, we are the pure race, we are the Aryan race. How can the British can treat us like the blacks? So he started fighting as misunderstood. People say he fight racism. But they forgot to tell you what racism he was fighting for. He was not fighting for the black man. He was fighting for his own race. So he became a little famous. And whenever you fight for your race, the rest of the clowns lift him up, put him on pedestal. So he became a great hero. And the movie they showed you that he was thrown out of the train compartment. And everybody say, here is the man fighting for the racism. He was fighting because he was being treated like the blacks. That was the reason he was fighting. He was fighting. Anyway, ultimately he came back to India and he became overnight a hero. Because they wanted somebody, a hero. They were waiting for a hero. And here came a big hero from South Africa because he was fighting against the British. So Gandhi was representing the upper caste. But he declared that he was representing quote unquote Hindus, which conveniently included the untouchables. Because for them, untouchables are part of Hindus except as slaves. But Dr. Ambedkar asked, if we are Hindus, how come we don't have the same right as you have? For that he says, well, that is the Varna system and karma. So Dr. Ambedkar said, no. If we are socially separated, we have to be politically separated. So when the British started talking about independence and the parliamentary elections and all that, I said, Dr. Ambedkar said, this person, the great person. As a matter of fact, Brother Runoko Rashidi defines Dr. Ambedkar as someone that if you put Malcolm X, Garvey, Booker T, Frederick, and Martin Luther King, all together, roll them up, and you have Dr. Ambedkar. Unfortunately, the untouchable community has that only one person. We call him the savior, the emancipator. Okay. So he said, we need our own independence. We want our own representation. We want to elect our own people. But Gandhi said, no, you are Hindus. So we will elect you. But British said, to turn around to Gandhi, I said, you say, in the meantime, he was talking about, oh, I want to elevate everybody, I want to eradicate untouchability. But he didn't want to eradicate the caste system. He was firm believer in caste system. But the world did not know that you can eradicate untouchability without eradicating caste system. Because they are one and the same. The reason why he did not want the caste system to be eradicated, because the minute caste system eradicated, the Hindu religion disappears. For him, the religion is more important, because that is their race. So he was in fact cheating the people, saying that he wants to eradicate untouchability. So the British Prime Minister at that time wrote him back. I said, you say you want to help these people. And this is one way to help these people, to have their own representation. He said, so they went to England, London, for a roundtable conference. There was a discussion. He said, Dr. Ambedkar is 1,000 times more intelligent, more smart compared to Gandhi. So there's no way he can argue. So he sat there silently in the roundtable conference. So the British thought Gandhi agreed. They even declared that the untouchables will have their own representation. This guy came back. He said, I will not eat till I die if the British is going to separate the untouchables from the Hindus. Gandhi was a hero. He was a god to the Hindus. So this guy went on fast, not eating. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Things getting tense in India. And Dr. Ambedkar got a lot of threat that if something happens to Gandhi, you are gone, your people will be gone. And there is no doubt about it. Weak people so easy. So he was worried. But still he said, I'm not going to let my people down. I'm going to try my best to protect my people. But ultimately, there was a point that he had to give in rather. So he got a compromise. And that is the reason Dr. Ambedkar called Gandhi as #1 enemy of the untouchables. Because today, without that particular action of Gandhi, the untouchables' life would have been far, far better, because we would have had our own representation. Today, according to the compromise, they said, okay, they designated certain constituencies for the untouchables, because this district will be represented by untouchable, but would be elected by everybody. And the untouchables are never a majority in any district. Also, in Indian election process, that you have to be nominated by your party. It is not like here. You got to be nominated by your own party to contest an election. And all these parties are controlled by the upper caste. So people like me will never have a chance to be nominated. So they'll pick all these dummies. And only those dummies are sitting there. And they would not open their mouth They probably don't know how to open their mouth, because that kind of people, they elect them. And that is the reason